Hey, what's up? Today I'm going to be giving a review for the film The Shallows. Now this film is about a woman who is like on a secluded beach, and she's out surfing in the water and stuff like that. But somehow she is attacked by a great white shark, or like a big great white shark too, and she ends up like being kind of like stranded in the middle of the ocean basically. Because she has to swim to this rock to escape like the shark, So the rock is actually in the middle of the ocean. So it's actually like I think like 200 yards. I remember her saying like away from the shore. So she's actually stuck out in the ocean on this rock, with this great white shark trying to get her and attack her and stuff like that. So that's what the film is about. It's about like this woman called Nancy. That's her name. She travels to the secluded beach. They don't really touch into her background too much. You notice she had like a mother that had like supposedly like recently passed away, and then you also get to see like glimpses of her father and like her sister too as well. They kind of pop up from here and there. But it's basically about like her out here surfing in the ocean. Cause when it opens, when it starts off, she's been taken to like this secluded beach that she doesn't even know the name of. And it's supposedly like in Mexico too. From what I'm hearing, I think it's supposedly it's like in Mexico. It's like some kind of like beach like in Mexico. She is taken there and she's left there, and she begins to surf, and she sees these other two surfers out there, which are men, they're surfing together, and stuff like that. And they tell her about the beach and everything and so on. They tell her about this rock out there that has like this tide that rises up and stuff from time to time. So it's like a low tide, I think like a high tide. So she knows about that too and everything, and they leave her there, and that's when she's attacked by the shark, while she's out alone in this isolated area, and she's stuck on the rocks. That's basically what the film is about. She has to survive, take care of herself while the shark is trying to actually consume her, you could say. Now she also has like a fellow, I think it's like a seagull, like a bird that's like along with her too. On the island on this little like rock that she's on. It's like this bird that be with her throughout the whole film. And the bird is injured to himself. Like his wing was like broken or something like that. So that's why I couldn't fall off. So it's actually stuck right there on this rock with Nancy, as she's trying to fight for survival with this great white shark. Now, another thing that makes like the situation kind of tense and terrifying, she was already attacked by the shark, because when the great white shark bit her, it left like a huge gash in her thigh and her leg, so it's like constantly bleeding. So she has to keep it like stitched together with like I think like her earrings, like medallions and stuff like that. She has to like stitch it together. Plus, she also had to take off like her wetsuit coat that she had on to like tie around the wound and keep it tight, to keep the blood from like pulsing and stuff like that. But I thought and then this was a exciting film, like the moments, say like before the shark even shows up, you get to see like glimpses of her, like the cinematography for the film I think was like good. Like the director of the film, I'm not gonna touch on her name 'cause I know it's kind of hard to pronounce it. I think they did a good job. Like the look of the film, it's like very like atmospheric. You feel like you're in this beach and like secluded like area, where there's nobody around. And I like the feeling of how it feels. It's like terrifying. You feel like the dread and a sense of survival for Nancy. You hope that she survives and stuff like that. But yeah, like like even like moments where she's just surfing, like the beautiful shots of like the ocean when she's on the surfboard, even with the other guys, when they're like surfing, like the aerial shots of like the water and stuff, I thought were like awesome. And like it looks beautiful. It's a good looking film, like the moments when it's like slows down and stuff like that, when she's surfing and stuff like that, especially when the sharks made like its first appearance, you can see it like coming in the wave. I thought that was creepy. Those scenes right there were like tense and like and like and fun and exciting, and plus when she's just trying to survive, because there's moments where she have to actually go into the water, to achieve something like a camera or something like that, or just to get like her surfing board, and the shark comes and attack her. Those moments are kind of tense and like terrifying. Plus you actually get to see that shark actually submerge from out the water and like can try to attack her at times when she's on the rock and stuff, and it looks like scary, because it's so like huge, but it's just a great white shark, and I thought like the visual effects of the shark itself were exciting and cool looking. They did a good job with like the actual effects of the shark, for my opinion. But like another thing about the film too, I thought was cool, it had like a nice like science fiction type element to it, because whenever like Nancy is on her like phone and stuff like that, and talking and stuff like that, you get to see like it brings up like a picture of like whoever she's like talking to, like on the left on the side of the screen, which is kind of cool. It brings up like say she's talking to like her sister or father, you get to see them like up on the side of like the screen. Plus there's moments where she's actually like counting down on the watch, like when she's stuck on the rock out in the ocean. like she's like timing like when the shark is like circling her and stuff like that. And, like when the tide rises, you get to see like the countdown of like the watch. I mean the time itself, like on her watch, you know, it's like on the side of the screen. It looks very like high tech and futuristic. You know, I thought that was kind of like a cool little touch, you know. And I thought like the actress in the role of Nancy, her name is Blake. I think it's yeah, Blake Lively. And there's not really that many people in this film. You know, you don't really have like that many people in it. You know, it's like on you get glimpses of her like sister and like her like father, but they're not there. You know, she's like actually talking to them. Yeah, they're in Texas if I'm not mistaken, 'cause that's where Nancy is from. It's from Texas, so they're back in Texas while she's over here in Mexico, like out on this secluded rock out here on this beach. You know, in the middle of the ocean with this huge great white shark circling. You know, but and then I thought and the director of the film, like I said, I had trouble pronouncing it. Like it's Jome Colette Serial. I'm not really sure how you pronounce her name. You know. But I thought he did a good job on it. At times it kind of like lags, you know, like the film it kind of lags at certain points. You could tell they're just trying to keep it going, you know, because obviously it wasn't really anything there, you know, except Nancy and this great white shark, and then you have this bird, you know, and an occasional people like pedestrian who comes up and try to help, you know, at times almost spoils, you know. But other than that, you know, it's like nothing, you know. You could tell they had stuff just added into it to make it like last, basically, for my opinion, to keep it going. So I guess it wouldn't be too short of a film, you know. But the whole time it is like tense, you know, and terrifying because you can't help but like wonder, you know, if you're in a situation like that, you know. And then at the end, like the climax of it, I thought was like spectacular. You know, they did kind of a good job with that, you know, and it was terrifying because then the great white shark was just really like taking off. Then you got to see like real good, you know, like the things it was doing, like when it was trying to get to her and stuff. It was like scary, and the shark itself did look like realistic, you know, like the visual effect because you could tell it's like CGI, you know. It did look real good, you know. But in the end, you know, The Shallows, I think this is like a perfect film if you're a fan of like I guess like shark attack films like Jaws and like Deep Blue Sea and films like that. You know, I would kind of recommend it. You know, 'cause I thought it was like tense and terrifying. You know, and just the look of the film was like cool. It's a nice like film for like summertime. You know, and stuff like that. You know, during like the summer season, basically, you know, everybody's out on the beach and stuff like that. You know, so in the end, I'm aiming to give it The Shallows. I think I'm gonna give it. I kind of want to say a C because it wasn't too great. It was kind of like good, you know. It was like still like a pretty cool film, you know. So I'm gonna aim at like a B minus for this film, you know. It didn't really like take off, you know, but it was like, you know, it was worth it, like a worth it like film, you know. I recommend it, you know, for fans of this genre, you know. I recommend it. So I'm giving The Shadows a B minus. And I would recommend it. You know, I think it was a pretty cool film, and that's my review for The Shadows, which I'm giving a B minus. All right.